Tasting.
Hello and welcome to simRace for the live GT3 race at Road America.
So it's round 3. We've had our first round at Bathurst, second round at Brands Hatch, and now we are live for round 3 of the championship. Myself, Werner, Heenop, and Amrish, Seunarain. And Jason Holden-Jones is on the camera.
Yes, I am, and I'm very excited to watch this race this evening. And so, what do you guys think is going to happen in this race? The newly branded team, Ghostworks Racing, is back at simRace South Africa. Bashir Jadwat and Marcus Stan choosing Lamborghini for this round onwards, moving on from the Mercedes-Benz. We'll have to see what that brings, Werner.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. They're, of course, forfeiting their points that they built up so far, changing cars. That's the rule at simRace SA. But we'll have to see if it's worth it, if it's worth making the switch. Amrish, what do you think is the reason for that?
I do know after the first race at Bathurst, Bashir wasn't very happy with the Mercedes there, which he was running, if I remember correctly. Was very twitchy, and Jason, being a driver of that Mercedes GT3 car, should watch. It does have a lot of lower RPM torque and grunt, which doesn't mean the best thing on these tight tracks nowadays.
Yeah, the biggest thing Mercedes-Benz I felt was sort of mid-corner understeer. Hurry battled to get that car sort of planted coming out of the turns. It wasn't too bad at the braking and acceleration, of course. You mentioned the sort of the torque the motor produces. But I had quite a bit understeer with the car, and it was sort of causing the tires to overheat and really struggle throughout the stints. Perhaps Bashir and Marcus have also seen that now, and they've decided to move on to the Lamborghini. Perhaps some pre-season testing for next season, getting to grips with the Lamborghini that way. And certainly not a bad move, making a plan for the future. And we'll see what their choice brings. At the moment, they are fastest and second fastest, both in the 203s, the only two cars in the 203s at the moment. Eric Crawford in the 204s in McLaren, also looking very quick, and followed closely behind by Bastian Spitzner.
Also interesting to note, the Lamborghini does have the best power to weight ratio, 1.2 tons, and it has 600 brake horsepower, so it's not a bad choice. As we can see, it's paying off already.
Yeah, and if I'm sure with the updates that Assetto Corsa is running, they do a lot of balance of performance updates on this. And with that, if you look at the actual real GT, the Blancpain, the Asia Cup, the GT3 Cups, the Lamborghini this year has become a serious contender after all the balance of performance updates.
You're quite right. You're probably talking about the Grasser racing team in the green Lamborghinis. I think they won the last 3 races or so in the Blancpain GT series.
Yes, yeah, they did. And last year they were unable to contend with the likes of the McLarens, the Audi R8s last year, and this year they seem to be untouchable.
Absolutely, we could be experiencing exactly the same thing here in the South African simGT series.
So, is it right in saying that by Bash and Marcus changing vehicles, I understand they lose all their points, but do they actually lose any ballast that they had accumulated as well?
No, Bashir Jadwat had 15 kilograms of ballast in the Mercedes-Benz, and he carries it over into the Lamborghini. And Marcus Stan had 0, so he, of course, stays with 0 kilograms of ballast for this race.
It's time for qualifying.
Yes, it is.
This is going to be exciting.
Showtime.
I'd like to see the GTR grunt on the straight. I think it being the only GTR capped fellow GTR driver and teammates, I'm a bit biased there.
talking about ballast, I think it's a good idea. Let's run through the ballast quickly. Gabriel Rousseau, he's got 80 kilograms. Mark Henbury, 75. Boyd Bryson, 65. So the guys are really stacking up the ballast there out in front. Lance Garasino, 60. Gat James, of course, he won the first race. He's at 55 kilograms at the moment. Chase Gunther at 50. Leslie Oliphant, 40. Amrish, co-commentator. Don't know if the ballast is affecting you at the moment.
It is
35.
actually.
How's it feeling?
Of course, he's going to
a bit
say
heavy
it's
on my
affecting him.
seat.
Bongi, 30 kilograms. Mark van Rensburg, 25. Jason Absmeyer, 15. Bashir, 15. Bastians, 15. And Brent Lindsay Ray, 5 kilograms. All the other guys are free of their ballast. No ballast for them.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see the effects of the ballast.
Remember, folks, the drivers only have 15 minutes of qualifying time, and this is quite a long circuit. Sort of, you're looking at 2 minutes, 3 lap time or so the quick guys might produce. So you're only looking at about perhaps 5 good runs along the circuit. So the guys are going to have to make it count straight away.
And you do have a lot of aborted laps, small errors, so you actually, a lot of drivers will be good with just getting 4 time laps in. That HRT Porsche is very pretty, I must add.
Yeah, I must admit, I think it's my favorite livery in the championship. I love sort of the black and red mixture.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my Golf that I have, my Golf one that I heavily modified, and it doesn't quite look like that, but it's got the same colors.
Did it have the same speed? That's the question.
Not quite, but it was a lot of fun to drive. So there we go.
Did you have an ABF motor at least?
I didn't quite go to the ABF route. Much smaller engine. But yeah, I enjoyed doing the tractors at Aldous Kubanti. And yeah, the Liver Golf did very well. And I might have been a bit quicker in a couple of M3s at one stage. So yeah.
That's an achievement on its own.
Yeah. I won't say how good the drive was in the M3, but anyway, it was a lot of fun.
With Nick Hodgson now. This guy on the track.
Nick is teammates with Chase, both in the AM category, but very good contenders this year. It's very nice to see.
He's currently 19th in the championship on 21 points.
Yeah, these guys are getting faster each round. I mean, Nick did say that Chase is suffering a bit with the ballast, and Nick is lucky that he doesn't have any today. So it would be nice to see what that Z4 can do. I do admit that Z4 out of all the GT3 cars here is the easiest to drive.
So right now we see the guys starting to put in the quick lap times. Had 1 or 2 starters, and I'll be really going for it. Just about 10 minutes, yeah, just on 11 minutes remaining. We're on board now with Nick Hodgson. We'll be looking to make this first run count and see what he can produce. Up the hill at 8,500 RPM, 5th gear, 220 kilometers an hour, and going much quicker.
205.
205.6.
205.6.
So good run there by Nick. Let's see what the rest do.
We can going to see the other times coming in now.
Marcus
Sheer
Buchanan 204.
203.9, a sub 204 time. Brilliant
Wow.
stuff from him.
So
Lamborghini
the Ghost
working.
Works Lamborghinis are really on it here at Road America.
And of course, they don't have liveries since they swapped cars and they.
They
Well,
do
the
have
forfeited.
liveries, Werner.
Oh, is it new
I
liveries?
think you missed an email, but that's okay.
Oh, me too, because I'm seeing
My
them as
bad.
green. And I'm like, oh, did they take the colors from the winning Lamborghinis in the Blank Paint Championship?
Now, they got stunning skins done by Jonathan Bentz with the big Ghostworks logo on the doors, as the audience can see. And right now, those two guys are the fastest, so their choice to go for Lamborghini is paying dividends so far.
Marcus Stein did do a sub 204 in practice, so he'll look to emulate that in qualifying. Oh, we got somebody off that
Oh,
back.
that looks like Brent.
Yep,
That's Brent gone off.
Can't really afford that, not with a 15-minute qualifying session, especially putting damage on the car. He'll have to go back to the pits and do another out lap. So that's really costing him.
Yeah, and as we said
He's
before,
down
an
in
outlap
13th.
costs you another 2 minutes to get around before you can do another lap.
Yes.
So that's proving expensive.
We got 17 drivers on track, so who are we missing?
Was this meant to be a full house?
It was meant to be 20.
I see Lance Garacino is not at the circuit this evening. Send in his say what? And I think Peter Krobler is the other guy. He is battling with his line at the moment.
Mabida, I don't see Bongi.
Bongi Mabida is not there. Those are the three guys.
Yeah, so it's Lance, Bongi, and Peter.
Perhaps we'll see a last-minute appearance by any one of those three guys, or maybe all of them. Who knows?
Well, hopefully, since Lance is 5th in the championship, Bongi is in 9th. They would definitely try to get in here if they don't have problems. Peter Grobler is down at 23rd place in the championship.
The more races make for a better race. I must admit, racing here in the AM Cup or in the AM race, I did enjoy the track. It's a very nice flowing track, good straights.
Yeah, I think it's one of the old school circuits, one of the good old American circuits that haven't been touched too much, or sort of improved too much for safety, as it were. Of course, safety is very important. But it's also important not to lose the character of the circuits, I feel. And we tend to see it in the Formula One circuit at the moment, that tracks are losing their character. And yeah, certainly this is one of the more interesting circuits.
Also, one of the longest circuits, 6.5 kilometers, and you actually realized that when we did the AM race.
With just over 6 minutes left. Bastian's in 5th.
And there we see Marcus, he's got his sub 204 time.
Oh, it's a stunning 204.
Their Lamborghinis are really paying off. They're more than 8/10 of a second before 3rd place, Gerrit Crawford.
Which is quite good because Gerrit's actually running the McLaren, which suffers on the straights here.
And Amrish, you'll remember, from your race with the McLaren of Werner, how that car can go around here.
Yeah,
GTR.
they're very fast in the technical stuff. When it came to the straights, unless they had a very low downforce, they struggled. So I mean, the V10 from the Lamborghini should have the legs on the straight versus the McLaren. I'm sure it's a V8 twin turbo, if I remember correctly. Which is kind of amazing because I'm sure the R8 and the Lamborghini are both like on the same principles because they share the same engine.
Yeah, the R8 and the Lamborghini have got the V10 motor, and the McLaren's got a 3.8 V6 twin turbo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Quite similar to what your Nissan has got, Amrish. The V6 turbo motor. Yeah.
The problem with the GTR though is too heavy. Or it feels too heavy. But then we jumped on board with Cat, who makes it feel very nimble.
Looks like we're going to have a close race. Gerrit Crawford, Nick Hodgson, Bastian Spitzner only separated by 1/10 of a second for third, fourth and fifth so far. Cat James and Tim Smith, only 23 thousandths of a second between them. And then we're going to have a close battle, Chris Heenop and Matthew Boy as well. Of course, 4 minutes still remaining. Cat James, of course, he's our championship leader at 40 points. Him and Gabriel Rousseau, they're tied at 40, both winning a race.
Cat did say he is struggling with the ballast with this car and the track at the moment.
Yeah, he's got 55 kgs, Gabriel on 80. I think
Yeah.
it's counting against Gabriel down at 12th. Jason, just give our viewers back home, how does the ballast work in terms of how do you carry it over to the next race? Does it add
Yes,
up?
so we've got ballast that affects the first 10 runners, as it were. So the fastest guy who ever wins a race, he'll get 60 kilograms for the next race, and so it'll go down to 5 kilograms until 10th position. Then then 11th is 0 ballast, you don't get anything more. Then from 12th onwards, you get minus sort of ballast for the next race. So the ebbs and flows throughout the season. As we are running the GT3 spec, not all the cars are exactly the same. Cars are simulated on the cars as they come out from the McLaren factory, where the Blancpain GT organizers will then balance them to make sure they have similar performance so they can race together. And the way we've done it in South Africa is that we try to balance the cars with using weight, extra ballast.
Is there a cap on it?
There's a
build
cap
up to a certain point?
The cap was 140 kilograms, but now from this race we've decided to limit it at 80. So basically, Gabriel Rousseau is at the maximum, and we've been doing a bit of testing, and at 80 kilograms the car is a lot heavier and really struggles with the tires. So I don't think we need to go more than that.
I can imagine 140 kgs
our
is
race
going
winner
to
from
be
the last
extreme.
race is in 12th position now, so I do think that's enough.
Oh, Matthew Boy loses
Right.
it there. Hard contact. He's in 6th place at the moment, 204.7. Gotta say, a lot of good times. From 1 to 9, all below 205. Looking at Gerrit Crawford now.
A bit slightly up on his delta, unfortunately, so he won't do better. And we do have a complete newbie to the South African simGT series on debut is Tim Smith. He's currently in 9th position in the Audi, so doing a good job so far. Of course, qualifying from doing well in the South African simGT4 series. Every one of these drivers has earned their spot on the grid here in the Pro Split by achieving a certain result in the qualifying races leading up to it. So we take the top 9 from the South African Sim Porsche Cup, and the top 6 from the South African Sim GT4 series. And then we have a last chance qualifier where the top two go through from a hot lap time session. Of course, we have the 3 guys who achieved a podium in the last AM split race and such.
I must say though, turn 1, where you saw Matthew Boy spinning off, is very critical to getting a good lap time in, because it is a corner where you can carry a lot of speed, but it's also a corner that a lot can go wrong.
Yeah, we did see a lot of offs there, and also the last turn there where we see Nick Hodgson now. We saw a lot of
But
offs
Nick Hodgson
there
on
as
a
well.
great time. He is about half a second up on his delta. And he's gone third. Wow, what a great lap there from
Brilliant.
Nick Hodgson in the BMW 2039. Just half a second off the very fast Lamborghinis, the Ghostworks Lamborghinis. And I think that is it for qualifying. I don't notice anyone else in a good run.
So it looks like we're going to have a Lamborghini 1-2. Followed
Certainly
very
their
closely
race to
by
lose at the moment.
followed very closely by BMW Nick Hodgson and Bastian's there with his Audi R8.
Gerrit running the McLaren.
Yes, the McLaren with Matthew Boy as well, also with the McLaren. 7th place Cat with the Skyline. 8th is Brent with the Ferrari. I'm not too sure what vehicle Tim is running.
Tim is running the Audi as well. He's running a R8. Chris Heineke.
In that beautiful Porsche.
Yes.
Is Chase in the Z4 as well, or do the teammates have different vehicles?
Yes, he does.
Also in the Z4.
Gabriel Rousseau, winner of the previous race, he's in the Porsche. Eugene, I think he was in the Glickenhaus. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, he's the only runner in the SCG.
That car confuses me still.
Doesn't seem that it should
it's Amrish's enigma.
It looks so
not a
fast.
road car.
But I think they built it and sold a few so it could classify as a road car in order to race these events. Because
it's not an officially homologated GT3 car. It's a GT3 spec car, but as far as I know, it's not officially.
They mainly just race that at the 24 hours of the Nürburgring, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it ran on the weekend.
That's right.
Did you watch the race on the weekend?
Did. Alvin van der Linde doing us so proud.
How is that ending?
Unbelievable. So proud of that car. Okay,
10 seconds
we
to
are
go.
going to the grid. We must remember to leave the grid now. Otherwise we'll cause one hang of an accident.
So just to recap, it's one formation lap with Bashir leading, and when we come around to the last corner it will be a green flag.
I'm going to be a bit brazen here. I think Bastian Spitzner is going to be leading this race 5 laps into the race. I don't know why. I just have this feeling. It's going to be interesting.
He's been
He's a
struggling
German,
with his
isn't
consistency in the last 2 races. I watched him. He has had brilliant qualifying sessions, and then he just seems to lose it about 30, 40 laps into the race. We saw that at Brands Hatch. He had a couple of big mistakes, but he just got so much pace. He's just got to keep it together. Because a quick rundown of the grid. Bashir starting out in first, Marcus Steyn in second, followed by Nick Hodgson and Bastian Spitzner in fourth, Gerrit Crawford fifth, Matthew Boy, then Kat James in seventh, Brent Lindsay Ray, followed by Tim Smith in ninth, Gabriel Rousseau, the winner of the last race, he's starting in 10th, Chris Heineke, Chase Gunther, Eugene Evert in 13th, Leslie Oliphant, Peter van Vieren, Boyd Bryanson, and then Mark Henbury. Guys warming up their tyres, getting ready. And I wonder if that's going to be a familiar sight in the future, these two Lamborghinis leading the way. Got to be looking intimidating for the other guys.
Yeah, we're just not quite sure how quick that Lamborghini is over the race distance at the moment. See how it goes in the race. We know the BMW is quite strong from the last AM split race. Nick Hodgson there in a prime position spot there in third. But he'll have the very quick Bastian Spitzner behind him in fourth.
It's going to be interesting to see pit strategy as well. We saw mostly one stoppers for the AM race, and the tires, well, it's all soft tires, so I think we can assume it's going to be probably one stops, or they may opt for 2 stops, short stint at first and another 2 short stints to the end.
But if you look at Bashir is running the medium tire at the moment in pole, so he is looking at a one stopper.
Oh, sorry, I'm missing that. Okay. I see the S for seconds. I thought it's for soft tires. My
Yes.
bad.
Sorry.
So we've got Bashir Jadwat on the mediums, so is his teammate Marcus Steyn, so clearly a team decision to go that way. And Nick Hodgson on the soft tire on the BMW. And I think the same goes for Bastian Spitzner. Yes, he's on the soft tire. Kerry Crawford behind him on the medium tire. So is Matthew Boy in
And we are at our final turn. And let's go.
We are racing here at Road America. Up the hill we go. And is Bashir Jadwat is comfortably leading his teammate Marcus Steyn, coming under pressure from
looking at a
Bastian
move there.
Spitzner. 3 wide.
3 wide.
Into turn 1.
Marcus, Bastian, and Nick.
Bastian seems to have it. He's got the inside line.
He's got it.
Ooh. And Nick Hodgson is taking advantage.
Marcus Steyn
Ooh,
didn't get
and
a
Close
good
contact.
Oh,
Marcus Steyn is
unlucky
off.
for Marcus. Lucky it wasn't worse.
Can rejoin. But he is bleeding positions, unfortunately, for the number 55 Ghostworks Lamborghini.
Marcus has lost a lot of spaces, down to 13th position.
This is going to be interesting to see how he can make up places. Started in second, so he lost a lot of places there. That's really bad.
Bastian is on the tail of Bash.
Oh,
and they come
contact!
together.
He's gone, or and he goes. Bit too eager on the brakes there, and he's running to the
First
back of
lap,
Bashir
full
Jadwat,
time.
but Jadwat will maintain the lead of this race.
Nice avoidance by Brent, who's up to 6th position already.
Good recovery by Bastian. He did lose 6 places. Not bad. Or 5 places, but not bad recovery. Could have lost more. Got another off. I think it's Bastian again in the back.
Dustin will be doing
Okay,
his
no,
utmost
he
now to
just
just
touched the
calm
grass
his
there.
nerves and just get back to what he knows best.
He was right on the back of Bashir there. He was only 1/10 behind. See
Harry
Harry
Crawford
Crawford.
now, yeah, as you say, he's looking dangerous there in 3rd position. McLaren does have the grunt on the straights too, but so does the BMW. Look, he's maintaining that gap.
Coming down to turn 1, that's probably the best overtaking move. Turn 1 or probably turn 5.
Yes. Nice to see
Bastian
Cat is
already
up
made
with-
another place up. He was down to 7th, he's up to 6th now.
Carrot
Big.
is now up to 4th position, and Gabriel, starting 12th, I think, is now up in 8th.
Kat started in 7th, am I right? Yeah, he started in 7th.
Yeah, Gabriel started in 12th, I think.
Top
The
speed,
Glickenhaus-
Peter van Vieren, 273.9
Oh!
kilometers
Come
an hour.
together.
Oh, there's a massive
Oh,
accident. Big pile up.
speedway.
Huge
Gabriel
damage there.
was involved in that, unfortunately. Yes, he is, and he's damaged quite badly.
That was rather unfortunate. He was the innocent bystander there.
We're seeing a lot of action in this race. Not even 2 laps gone.
Seems the drivers are failing to realize it's a 42 lap race.
Yeah, another
And they're
5 lap
thinking
race.
it's a sprint.
Oh, okay, getting it
crap.
slightly crossed up there. But our defending champion from last season, Gert James, doing a stunning job up into 3rd position, just 1.4 seconds behind Nick Hodgson. And Bashir Jadwat will be having a look at that and going, I need to push a bit harder now.
Looks
But
like
Cat
Chase
is running
Gunther's.
on the soft tire.
Looks like Chase Gunther's all over the back of Harry Crawford there, only 2/10 of a second behind. Big battle here for 5th.
The Z4 get the toe.
Yes, he will.
And he has the inside line for turn 1.
Hard on the brakes.
Ooh.
Oh, here it's late on the brakes. Wow, look at that.
Very brave braking. Brendan Lindsay coming under attack by Carrot.
Oh,
Oh,
contact.
and they come together with Matthew.
Oh,
Take it
Just
easy
so
for the
tight.
next turn.
Guys are
Yeah,
going
it's very
at
brave.
it today. Brilliant stuff. Can already see some damage on a couple of cars. Gabriel also looking at a
recovering
move there.
Marcus Stain in 9th position. Peter van Vieren in 10th position.
Oh, sorry, Peter, yeah.
Oh, it's going to contact
Marcus.
him. He's running late on the brakes. Can Peter van Vieren take advantage of that? Here comes Tim Smith as well. It's all going down here at Road America.
Some contact. There's so much contact and it's hard to keep up.
It's telling
like
me I'm
a
trying to work the
clubman's
cameras here.
race.
I'm not quite sure which direction to go.
Light off there by
Look at
Peter.
these three. Absolutely
Still in it.
versatile.
This is like rallycross racing.
Yeah,
Tim Smith, good move.
frantic
Matthew Boy is under
stuff.
attack. Peter behind him, and Mark is going to join the body.
Yep, the inside.
Up the inside.
Might work. Yeah.
Here we go onto the straight.
Lost the
just didn't
drive out
get
of that last
good
corner as
drive
well.
there.
Yeah.
And Chase is on the tail of Brent. But Marcus... too close to call. Brilliant drive by Marcus.
He's recovering well. So easy to lose your head in this situation, but he's got it back together and he's fighting back. So great character here from Marcus Stan. Up into 8th position.
He was
Also
down to
lost.
12th at one point, and he's back up to 8th in 2 laps. So he made 4 places in 2 laps. Brilliant stuff.
That Lamborghini showing raw pace. His teammate Bashir Jadwat now enjoying a 4-second lead ahead of Nick Hodgson. Nick Hodgson having the drive of his sim racing career in 2nd position. And his teammate here, Chase Quinter, battling with Brenton 084 6th and trying to fend off Marcus Stan as well.
And Gert James just building it up slowly, just keeping calm. I think the experience counting there, staying out of trouble.
Nick just needs to ignore his rearview mirrors because he's going to notice that GTR coming up on the straights. As you look at the delta goes down on the straight, and once you start concentrating on who's behind you, you're going to start losing time.
This is all action as we get to the back straight here.
Oh, it's contact!
Oh, no.
Off he goes. Huge accident. Mark Embry in the wall.
Massive.
On
That's
my
going to be
screen, it
big
looked like the
damage to
wheels
his
came
car.
off. That car is undrivable.
Unfortunately, this is a retirement for Mark Embry in the HRT Ferrari.
Does that rub off as a racing incident?
I'm sure I'll be having a look at it after the race.
But they did try to go too wide
They did
into
try,
that
yeah.
corner.
Absolutely. Magnus Boyd, Brass in the AGBS McLaren. We haven't seen too much of him. They're now latching onto the rear of Eugene Nieboert's Pickenhouse.
Boyd did say he was struggling. He didn't have much drive time.
Seems like
We've
we've lost Chris Heineke as well. He's in the pits now already for 4 minutes, so I think he's retired.
It's a terrible race here for HRT, Heineke Racing Team. Both cars out of this race.
Mark is still going. Yeah, he's doing
Great
82
stuff, Mark.
kilometers an hour. I think he's crawling to the pits. Yep,
Gonna
he's
make it back to
crawling
the
to
pits.
the pits. Might be worth it in a race like this. There's going to be a lot of trouble. So, and every point counts. You get points up till 17th place.
Yeah, of course, if he can get out of the pits, still on the lead lap, which I doubt at the moment, but he can try. Let's see to see how badly damaged the Ferrari is. It was quite a big shunt. Where's the shed? No.
Looking at these first 6 laps, I'm guessing a couple of cars have damage. So it's not a bad idea. Get in quickly, fix that damage, and just get your lap times back up.
Maybe
of course,
just pull up and
Mark
put
is
in some...
also very heavy with ballast, and he knows that he needs to finish the race if he is to lose ballast. So perhaps he's going to keep going for that reason alone.
Cal James coming under attack by Bastian, who's gonna have the run on him. But us showing up the hill. The GTR should edge slightly just to hold off the race line.
There's a heavy GTR though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh,
But they managed
great
to
move there by Cat James.
close the door.
Bastian has
there.
got good pace at the moment. He was down to 6 after his incident. He's already up to 4th and he's fighting for 3rd now. It looks like Mark is retiring. He's already in the pits for 1 minute 45 seconds, so I think he's
that
out.
damage
Or
should take
it's
some
just,
time.
yeah, it might be the damage. How long would damage like that take? Probably about 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, at least this battle with Cat and Bastion is allowing Nick to just concentrate and open up the gap. See, Bastion's getting a bit impatient there, he's flashing the lights at Cat.
Looking at the sector times, Bastion has got the quickest third sector of all the races at the moment, 44.2. So he's going to put Gert under pressure now at the last part of the lap. Chase Gunther, he was third in the championship. Good move up the inside.
Oh, he's outbraked himself.
Oh, overshot it. Not over by a long shot. He's going to try to get good drive up the home straight.
So while we're watching the others, Marcus Stain got past Brent Lindsay-Ray and he's back up into 6th position. And he's now gone after.
He's got the slipstream up the
coming
inside.
Out of the pits. I think he's a lap down. Oh, he's 2 laps down.
Chase makes it stick. And also Peter making a move. Brent losing out on 2 positions in 3 turns.
In 2 turns.
2 turns, yeah. Here they list that one small bend is turn 2. Coming down the Moraine sweep.
Matthew Boy coming in pressure here from Rousseau.
Oh, racing room? Oh, nice room.
Eugene Ebert wants a piece of it as well. He's got him. So Eugene Ebert is up into 12th position. He follows Gabriel Rousseau past Matthew Boy.
And Bastion has got past that.
Oops.
And it's already opened up a 1.5 second gap on him. So Bastion is hungry to chase down Nick. Ooh, and he runs very wide.
Marcus Stein already back up to 6th place. I wonder if Bastion is on a 2-stop strategy.
Is Bastion running the soft tire, Jason?
Yes, he is.
I can't see.
He might be on a light fuel load.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I don't know, could be. Oh.
I don't see how the soft tire will last. Well, when I say that, then DeAndre actually made it work. He made his, in the AM race, he made his soft tire on the Z4 run for 22 laps. Tim doing a bit of farming there. Luckily,
Tim
just on
doing
the
a
side
good
of the
job
track.
here on debut. In the top 10 so far.
But Gabriel Rousseau been struggling with the balance, he had some damage. So Eugene is now chasing him down, or trying to chase him down. Matthew Boy is starting to put pressure on Eugene.
Looking at the lap times, the first 7 guys are really pulling away from the others. From Chase Gunther upwards, it's all below 207, their best laps. Everybody from Peter from Fear and down is all above 207 times. Bashir with the fastest lap at 205.0. Second fastest is Marcus Steyn with a 205.5. Third is Nick Hodgson, 205.8. Bastian with a 206.0. Jared Crawford looks to be catching up to Gert James. Okay, we're 50 kilometers into the race, 187.5 kilometers an hour average speed, which is quite fast. We saw only about 160 kilometers an hour average speed at Brands Hatch.
I guess the straights here help that average speed.
Yeah, the sweep and that back straight. Kettle bottoms. Things seem to be settling down a bit after that hectic first 6 laps we had.
Yeah, the field has spread out a bit, so there's some gaps opening up. There's some battles for 10th place at the moment.
Gabriel
10th, 11th, and
Rousseau
12th.
on the back of Tim Smith now. And Eugene is also closing up on them. Love this camera angle.
Would be nice if they had DRS.
No, we don't talk about DRS. Amrish.
Or curves.
Tim in a great run on that last corner, putting the gap away from Rousseau.
That flat 6 with the ballast is not really happy on the straight.
New fastest lap, Bashir 204.89. Good work. He's really extending his lead.
Starting to run like top 5 qualifying lap time on these medium tires with fuel. Helps with the clear track. And a 9-second gap between him and second place.
Looking at the top speeds, Bashir's top speed only 271 kilometers an hour, while Jared Crawford did it 287. It looks like Bashir didn't go for quite the top speed that we expect. I think he's probably running more downforce.
If I remember correctly as well, the Lamborghini doesn't have the greatest top speed. It has grunt to get you there, but it doesn't have a very high top speed in the vehicle.
Interesting line there by Tim Smith, very wide and cutting in, where Rousseau is choosing a tighter line. But certainly Tim making that Audi work for him. Good driving so far from the man on debut.
That corner is a funny one. There's just so many different lines, different drivers, different preference. With Tim missing the apex there by car's width, which is compromised in here. He has to go in defensive, which is going to compromise his drive on the straight. It should help Gabriel just creep up ever so slightly and maybe just, oh, there we go.
He's gonna have to
Can
be
Tim
hard on the
outbrake
brakes if he
Gabriel?
wants to make this pass.
Oh, Gabriel got it done.
Good work. He's got some damage on that Porsche.
A lot. Can the R8 reply?
Tim Smith is going to be
No,
under
not
attack
so
from
bad.
Eugene Neva at any second now. Oh no, sorry. Eugene, he made a mistake. He's falling
Did
off
he spin?
quickly.
Or
Yeah,
did
I
he
thought I saw
go into
someone
the
go off
pit?
in the background, but I wasn't
Yeah,
sure who it was.
he's already lost 11 seconds this lap. He's back on track. Blue flag for Mark. He's about to be overtaken by Eugene.
But Beşiktaş Duarte in a commanding lead now, about 10 seconds ahead of Nick Hodgson. He'll be looking to build that up now, all the way towards his pit stop.
Would be interesting to know the pit strategies.
I think
Would
we're
be
going to
nice to
soon find
see
out. Yeah.
if he went for a heavier fuel load, run into the 26-28 lap stint on his mediums, then switch over to some softs to finish off the race.
If anybody is in a two-stop strategy, we can expect some stops from about lap 14 or 15. Marcus Stein personal best lap 205.5. He's closing up on Gerrit Crawford.
And Harry Crawford's making some ground on Pat James at the moment. This is when the McLaren is much stronger than the GTR. You see that time drop by 4/10.
This long sweeping bend can be quite tricky to get it right. You can make up a lot of time or you can lose time there.
Cars, we made up just half a second in the technical stuff, and let's just see what's the downforce like. If that gap is gonna grow, or it's slightly growing, so Parrot just pulled a 10th on that straight alone. Now the gap is half a second.
McLaren is absolutely mega sort of medium corner. Closing the gap to the Nissan. Bit quicker out of the corner there.
Were there any changes to the tire model with the new 1.14 update? Was the tire model still the
As far as
same?
I know, it's the same.
As we exit this last uh, technical bend, you should have carrot right up the trumpet of carrot.
Marcus then in the background there, catching these two all the time. I think quite soon we're going to have a three-way battle for fourth.
Carrot running on the soft tire, maybe his tires are starting to wear with that extra weight.
Here comes Carrot. Be careful,
Ooh,
the make
yeah.
contact. McLaren is
Carrot's
so much
waiting
better under
for
braking, and I
Carrot.
think he just misjudged Carrot braking a bit earlier than expected. He did wait for him. It
Yeah, I
was
did
required
wait.
to add some rest. I figure good to see that.
Gert's going in.
Straight into the
Gone
pits.
in.
It'd be nice to see Carrot take the medium tire now. Just fill up till the end and carry on going.
Gert lost 20 seconds there.
This is fortunate in a way that it happened just before the pit lane, not afterwards.
Yeah.
If there's any severe damage, needs to sort out quickly.
I'm not too sure if did he go into the wall after he got tapped.
I think
That
he
was
might
on.
have.
So early in the race, it will make sense if he has a lot of damage to fix it.
But so far, no one can challenge this man, Bashir Jadwat, who's commanding this race, well in control. For 11 seconds
Eugene
now, leading
Nevert also in
Nick
the
Hodgson.
pits. Gert James is out.
Now Bastion's in third. Marcus. Oh, Bastion was in third. Marcus in fourth. And he's going to be chasing down Bastion with everything he's got now.
But the answer to your question, Amrish, Gert James has gone to the medium tire.
Yes,
I think he is one
he
stopping.
has fueled up and yeah. Eugene has left.
Yeah. Bastian's pits now, also in the pits now.
The soft tire is starting to wear.
Chase Gunther also in the pits. It'll be interesting to see if they go for a short first stint and then on the mediums for the second stint, or another set of softs and make it a two-stop strategy. So we're half an hour into the race. Bashir really dominating. Nick with a very solid race as well. Marcus, brilliant job after his problems on the first lap, back up to third already. Gert James down in 14th. Lost a lot of places.
Boyd Bryson has been under the radar, but is up into 10th place at the moment. Very eventful race.
Matthew Boy looking to make a move. Ducks out of it.
Is there anyone still running on the soft tyre at the moment?
Nick Hodgson in second. He's on the soft. I don't think he's come in yet. And Boyd Bryson is still on the soft. Mark Hembry as well. The rest of them are on medium tires. Very interesting to see now when Bashir Jadwat picks his time to pit. He's on the medium tire, so perhaps he's going to go for much longer still.
Brent Lindsay Rose made a mistake. Lost already 7 seconds on this lap. I think he's had it off.
And now he's under threat by Tim Smith with Matthew Boyd closely behind. Matthew looking for that gap.
Dark contact, not too bad. Boyd Bryson is right there to pick up the pieces.
Boyd Bryson's car is looking like one of the only ones without any damage at the moment.
Nick Hodgson in the pits.
And it'll be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to the others.
There we see the two Lambos out in front again. Obviously still having to make pit stops. Tim in the slipstream here. 250 kilometers an hour, side by side. Here we go. Oh,
Brent's fighting back.
almost
Red
had
scrap,
it
yeah.
off there.
Oh, David to the
Matthew.
inside.
Amazing to see all the cars in one shot. We've got 6 cars in one camera shot after 18 laps. Great race we're seeing here today. Nick exits in 11th place.
Is that Bashir behind Boyd at the moment? Or is that Marcus?
That is Leslie
Oh,
Oliphant.
Leslie is
He's
also
in
running
the third Lamborghini.
Sorry, and on my screen they're all green, so...
Okay.
So far, we've had Nick, Bastian, Chase, and Gert who've made pit stops, and Mark as well. So our top runners have yet to stop.
Should see all the pit stops coming within the next 7 laps.
Matthew putting Tim under all sorts of today.
He's made a mistake. Matthew's going to have him.
Round the
Oh, the net
outside.
contact.
No!
Of the wall.
Oh.
He's in the wall.
Hard
He's
contact.
that. Tim is with him.
That's gonna be a lot of damage.
Oh,
Oh,
and
we have
Boyd as
Boyd.
well has had an issue. It's
And
all
Mark.
pear-shaped here.
So Matthew, Tim, Mark, and Boyd. Mark has lost 15 seconds on this lap. Boyd Bryson as well.
So who's our highest runner who has pitted? I think that would be Nick Hodgson, hey, in 8th.
Yep, that's correct. Bastian has also pitted 9th.
And a tire swap with fuel, filling up your fuel, if you're not repairing any damage, should take you around 25 seconds or so, right?
I'm looking at the times in the pit lane. Nick was in the pit lane for 50 seconds. That's obviously time traveling in the pit lane and the stop. Bastian 50 seconds, Chase 50 seconds. Gert James had a bit of a slow stop, 57 seconds in the pit lane.
Nick Hodgson now coming in a pressure from Bastian Spitzner. They've got Leslie Oliphant in the Lamborghini ahead of him. These two will be desperate to get it past Leslie Oliphant as soon as possible. They're now stuck in traffic. And the race leader Bashir Jadwat is getting away all the time. Remember, Jadwat still has to do a pit stop. This is hurting those two badly at the moment.
Bashir currently lapping around the 205, and you've got Nick and Bastian in the 207, so he's roughly about a second and a half so faster lap. I understand they have to contend with some traffic, not traffic, but Leslie. It should allow Bashir to pit and still have a healthy lead. As you see, the Ghostworks Lamborghinis are now in 1 and 2.
Bastian making move up the inside.
Nick decided to keep his car clean and just stay wide.
What
Not
tyres
risk
does
the
Nick
damage.
have at the moment?
Nick
Nick's
has
running
got...
softs.
No, he's on the mediums
Softs.
now.
Oh, now he's
After
on
his
the
pit
medium.
stop.
So I think
Yeah.
him and Gert, they're doing the same strategy of short first stint on the softs and then probably going for medium right till the end. Is that possible to go with a medium?
I think Cat was initially going to two-stop it and run softs the whole race. But I think after that contact and maybe he decided just dive into the pits and repair the damage. Instead of pitting again, just fill up and just run the mediums.
What a
again.
move by Bastian Spitzner around the outside of Leslie Oliphant. That was very impressive. Here comes Nick Hodgson looking to do a similar move, but he's got him up the inside, I think, this time. Yeah, great stuff. So good hard racing by these three guys. Fantastic stuff. That's what we like to see.
Leslie losing 2 places on that lap. Bashir again, another fast lap, 205.5. Just opening that gap up 28 seconds already to Marcus Steyn.
Sorry, Jason. Just to recap, with the ballast, which positions receive ballast? First 10.
Yeah. And from, I think it is, 12th, he started losing.
Ooh. Nick running a bit wide. Sure, he really wants to get into the back of Bastian and just to get him through it. Get the drafts on the straight.
Been so busy looking at the action on screen, we haven't even had a chance to look at the comments. On YouTube.
Yes, Lance Caricino mentioning there that he's not racing this race because he's prepping for the Virtual Endurance Championship. And big news for SimRace South Africa and its team RSA Protea Sim Sports is that we earned an invitation to the 24 Hours of Le Mans in the Virtual Endurance Championship, and we have entered our Protea Sim Sports Corvette.
Marcus Stein is in the pits, sorry Jason.
Sure.
On second place. Peter van Vieren as well.
Yeah. So we're very excited about that race this weekend. You can catch all the action on this Saturday. 24-hour race, of course, that runs into the Sunday. And our co-commentator Amrish Seunarain will be taking part together with Lance Caricino, and Mark Hembry is our entry for that race.
It's quite scary to think of.
You can catch all the action on the simracing.club YouTube channel, of course, which I will be sharing links on the SimRace South Africa website during the week. Qualifying is Wednesday and Thursday if you're interested in watching that. But back to the action here at Road America, and it is Nick Hodgson still battling away with Bastian Spitzner, fighting for 5th position. Of course, these two have already done pit stops. The highest runners so far who have done a pit stop. Now trying to chase down Brent Lindsay-Ray.
And Nick is making up some pace on Bastian.
Bashir in the pits.
You've got Marcus in 8th. He also pitted while we weren't concentrating. He just made a pass on Leslie.
Looking at the gaps, it looks like Bashir can exit in second place if he gets a good pit stop.
Yeah. Possibly he might even come out in the lead.
I think that gap is not 100% right there.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
Gerrit
fluctuates.
Crawford's into he's coming down the home stretch now.
And his Bash is leaving the pit. So he's gonna
Gerrit
retain.
is gonna be close.
But he's gonna have the speed. So he's
Yeah.
gonna have the straight line speed to pass Bash.
It's gonna be very
And
close.
Bash is gonna be on cold tires.
Gerrit's got it. Gerrit's still to stop though.
So great drive by Bash.
So our only drivers yet to pit is Gerrit, Gabriel Rousseau, Leslie Oliphant, Matthew Boy, and Tim Smith. As I see, Brent is in the pits now. Brent and Leslie. Boyd Bryson running in 14th. He still has to pit as well.
Jason, he just drove through him.
And do that in the Assetto Corsa.
Yeah, I try not to do it, so you don't get used to it.
Boyd enters the pits now.
Bashir Jadwat will be desperate to get past Gerrit Crawford because every second is behind him. He's losing out to the guys in 4th and 5th, Bastian Spitzner and Nick Hodgson, who are a fair amount behind, over 10 seconds, but still.
Which the gap has come down because at one stage Bash was over 15 to 20 seconds ahead of them.
What tyres are Gerrit running?
Gerrit is on the medium tyre.
So he might extend this stint, and that's going to be bad news for Bash.
Yeah.
He sits behind Gerrit.
And Gerrit's not one for just letting people go by either, so you can expect a fight from him unless he pulls into the pits right now, and then Bash's problem is sorted out. See what happens
Doesn't
now?
look like.
No.
I think he's probably going to extend this for another couple of laps. Nick
But
Hodgson,
Matthew,
Nick Hodgson, Matthew Boyd, they both made mistakes on this lap. Already 7 seconds down for Nick and 11 seconds for Matthew. So they must have had it off somewhere. Gabriel in the pits.
Peter van Vuren coming under attack by Heft. Oh, Peter van Vuren shoots into the pits.
Gert is at an up and down race. He started in 7th, he was up to 3rd by lap 3. And then by lap 13 he was 4th and he dropped all the way down with his pit stop to 14th and he's fighting back now. He had a lot of pit stop problems with the previous race as well. Had to make 2 pit stops.
Now, I just noticed that Gabriel has in fact repaired the damage to his car as well in that pit stop. That's all sorted out, and he's now going after. Oh, let's see, Mark Embry ahead of him is actually a lap down. But Gabriel's now trying to chase down Gert James, and of course Gabriel and Gert are tied for the lead of this championship at the moment. So they are fighting for the outright championship lead. They are just about a second and a half separating them.
That's going to be a good battle to watch.
I think so.
As things stand now, we will have Gert James on 66, Gabriel Rousseau on 65 points, and Chase Gunther in 3rd on 63. Bastian Spitzner will be in 4th, and then we'll have a tie between Leslie and Mark for 5th.
But a
Obviously,
drag
that's
race
live
down
timing.
the main straight for the lead of this race. Bashir Jadwat on the outside, Crawford on the inside,
Oh,
and Jadwat has got
stick.
the job done.
Looks like Hertz gonna be attacking again. But Bash will hold the inside line.
Giving each other a lot of room there, and now closing in.
Looks like Peter van Vuren has left the server.
Fortunately, that is a DNF for Peter van Vuren.
Boyd Bryson will be getting a lot of blue flags when he moves out the way. It looks like Bastian had an off, because that gap to Bashir now shot up to over 30 seconds.
Guys, last lap was at 06. Okay, no, it must have been earlier. So we've lost 3 drivers already. Eugenie Vogt, Chris Heineke, and now Peter van Vuren, down to 14 runners. Matthew making a move.
Is he
And
like
he's
undercut?
Sorry, that was Chase.
See, Nick is catching up with Tim for 5th place.
Leslie is putting Brent under pressure.
Both Nick and Tim have already pitted, if I remember correctly.
Gabriel Rousseau, new personal best lap from him, 206.4, so he's making his move.
I
Behind
think we're
Gab
gonna
James.
have quite the battle on our hands now between these two. Gabriel, the sneaky look of the inside. Let's try to make it work. It's put off, cats. Alright. Gabriel's got the inside line, they make
there's some
contact.
contact. But they keep it on the track.
Rubbing is racing, as you said, Amrish in the comments earlier.
Looks like Gabriel's already pulling away. So Garrett Crawford, Tim Smith and Matthew Boyd, they're really extending their first stints here. Already up to lap 27, still going.
With the medium tire, you should be able to go up to around lap 30. You should be able to actually complete the race if you drive it smooth enough and you don't scrub a lot of speed in the corners. The only thing is you can't finish the race on one tank of fuel.
I think the cars take about 110 to 120 liters. You need about 150 to 160 to complete the race.
To complete the race.
And what we have missed, Marcus Stan has gotten past Bastian Spitzner for 3rd.
And Tim Smith, right at the back of Nick Hodgson, only 1/10 of a second. That's a battle for 5th. Mark is in the pits. Mark Enbury, that's his 2nd stop. Obviously, he's 2 laps down.
Now with the balance of this 16 laps remaining, I'm sure you're going to have Marcus chasing down Bashir. Teammates, but they would like to finish on par, I'm sure at least.
Yeah, is Bashir not bleeding time? No, he has come in for his pit stop. No, he hasn't.
No, he
Bashir
has.
pitted.
Yeah,
Bashir,
he has.
yeah, sorry, I got confused.
The Gerrit's in the pits.
Yeah, it's
Is he going to come out in front of Marcus?
It'll be interesting to see if he switches to soft tires or if he keeps those mediums like he said, Amrish.
Yeah,
I doubt that
I
he'll
would go
keep
with
the
softs.
mediums. He'll probably go for softs, yeah. He entered from 2nd place.
And there
He's
Marcus
dropping
has
down
now
now.
taken his space.
So Tim Smith and Matthew Boyd still have to make their stops.
Ooh. If Harrod's on the softs, he can now start putting some pressure on Tim.
And he exits in 6th place.
It looks like mediums, I'm not too sure. Harrod already all over the back of Tim. Gonna look at making a move. Tim goes very defensive. Harrod runs on the outside.
Almost loses it. Good move.
Tim seems to
think-
have given up very easily there, like
I
he was
think
being
his
lapped.
tires is counting against him now. He's already done 28 laps on those
Oh,
tires.
Tim hasn't pitted yet.
Yeah. Tim and Matthew, they still have to pit.
So they're in the danger zone for Gabriel Cass, even Leslie and Brent Lindsay Ray. When they pit, they stand a chance of losing at least up to 4 spots.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true.
Matthew boy, I think he's made a mistake.
Is that lap traffic in front of Parrot? No, sorry, that's Nick, right? Sorry, I
Yeah,
was
it's
getting
Nick.
my
Nick,
timing
yeah.
wrong.
It's
Yes.
in fourth, yeah. It jumps up and down every once in a while. Yeah.
And
Here
all
will be
the
looking to
excitement.
clear Nick as soon as he can here. Nick Hodgson collected the pressure to fend off that RPM McLaren.
And the RPM McLaren should have the legs down the straight here.
Matthew boy's in the pits now.
The Z4 actually kept up with the McLaren down the straight,
Yeah.
but Carrot managed to make it stick.
It's interesting to see what kind of raw pace Kerry Crawford's got now on that McLaren on the soft tyre. Only Boyd and Mark at the back of the field, they are running the softs, but here it's right at the front there in fourth. Let's see if we can close that gap to Bastian Spitzner. He's about 2.5 seconds behind Bastian.
But do you overdrive it on the soft tire and not worry about your tire wear? You know, trying to catch up to Bastian.
Yeah, this is the question. I'm not quite sure how the McLaren is set up. I think the McLaren is very good on its tires. Here it's showing that on the medium tire, running it very long indeed, I think to about lap 28 or so, 26. And it looks confident in pushing the McLaren on the softs. Perhaps he feels he's on for a podium here. Let's see what happens.
Oh, would be nice for the end of this race.
Yeah.
He is dropping the time down. Bastian
big
did a
gap.
2:06.9 and he just ran a 2:05.3, so he's just 1.5 seconds faster in that last lap alone.
Yeah. And here it was in traffic too. He passed Nick,
Yes.
Nick in that lap. So
Is Bastian on the soft tire as well, or is he running
Bastian
medium?
is on the medium.
One hour into the race now. Bash looks pretty safe there in front. 30 seconds ahead of Marcus. And he keeps on putting in those fast laps. His last lap was at 2:05.2. Marcus's last lap was at 2:05.8. Keeps on extending that lead. And then Gabriel also putting in good laps. 2:06.2. And we got our top 3 championship runners in 7th, 8th and 9th. Gabriel in 8th. He will lead the championship if things stay like this. Kurt 2nd. He's running 9th. And Chase running 7th. He will be 3rd. And Bastian up to 4th in the championship. Leslie 5th. He's running in 10th. And Mark, he doesn't have a good race today. Things not going quite his way. with the 2 stops he had to make and time he lost there in the beginning. But he will be in 6th place in the championship if things stay like this.
I guess that was Mark's idea, instead of just leaving the race and being 2 laps down, just finish and get those points where you can.
And of course,
does get
losing the
points in
ballast
14th
as well
place,
if
right?
he finishes the race. Yeah.
He's getting blue flags now. He's being passed by Bash. Gerrit Crawford, fastest lap of the race, 204.87.
Oh,
He's
on
really
a
cracking
mission.
on the pace now, closing up on Bastian.
He wants
This-
that podium spot.
His last lap was 2 seconds faster than Bastian. Bastian did a 206.9, he did a 204.8. So in 12 laps, he's going to make that up easily.
Oh, I see him in the back of Bastion in the next 3 laps, 4 laps.
Probably about
If he keeps it
5.
up,
I think
yeah.
the gap is now 11.4 seconds. Unless Bastian can respond.
I think Bastion's looking at his timing.
Tim's still to stop. Tim hasn't made a stop yet. He's really pushing that. 31 laps already.
Is Tim on a medium tire, not a hard?
Yeah. Yes, he's on the medium. Yeah.
Matthew Boy, his personal best lap 205.6. Mark Henbury 206.8, his personal best lap as well. So they're cracking up the pace there at the back. Mark in
Let's see if
14th.
Bastion is gonna respond to Gerrit. He just ran a 206.8. Gerrit with another 204.
204.9, he's catching him at 2 seconds a lap. It'd be really interesting.
That gap now is just around a 7-second mark.
Bastian has had a good race today. He had some trouble there in the couple of first laps when we saw all that action, but he's really fought back well.
But it'd be nice to see in the race without any incidents in the first few laps. You know, it's a true indication of the pace of the drivers. Because Bastion caught up to Bash in that second lap quite quickly, but then he had that unfortunate mistake of running into him.
He was actually down to 12th at one stage. Lap 15, he was down to 12th. Fought his way back to 3rd. Good work from him.
Gareth James struggling there in 9th place. He's just lost over 12 seconds to Gabriel at the moment. He's just opening up and chasing down Chase.
Chase Gunther, he's doing a good job as well. He started in 12th. He's up to 7th place. Leslie started in 14th. He's up to 10th. Tim Smith, he made 3 places from 9th to 6th. Still out on the track, haven't made his stop. Marcus Stein, his personal best lap 205.1. He's catching up slowly to Bash, but I don't think it's going to count. He's more than 40 seconds behind.
We're starting to see some wear in Claret's tires. His times are dropping a few tenths every lap.
Tim Smith in the pits now.
Gabriel just ran at 206.1. So he's starting to run some pressure for just to run away from Cat.
Tim Smith changing to the soft tyre.
Makes sense.
He rejoins in 10th position. I think that's where he actually was before the pit stop started. So he maintains a top 10 position. Good run from Tim Smith on debut.
Now he can put on some pressure on Leslie because he has some fresh rubber with a 3-second gap between them.
Cars quite evenly spread around the track now. Big gaps.
It would be nice to see a 40 car race.
Different classes as well.
Yes, multi-class race.
Bash with a new best sector 2 time. 36.8 in sector 2. Gerrit Crawford still the fastest time in sector 3 with a 44.0.
Did Gerrit just put the another fastest lap of the race?
He did.
4.8.
Yep. And Bastian's still doing 206.8.
I think Gerrit just has a few mistakes now and then. That gap is down to 5 seconds. Nine laps to go. And I hope we have the introduction of the M6 GT3 car soon.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure when they will be released. I know the new Audi R8 is now available instead of Corsa. But I don't think there's a date on the BMW M6 just yet.
Yeah, I'm a BMW fan.
Hey.
And being a race car, it suits it, no resale value.
After this race, we're looking at Watkins Glen and then Spa.
I would really like to be there for Spa. It's my favorite track.
Yes, that's an awesome track.
I hate Watkins Glen.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. But I gotta say, Road America is really a nice track. I enjoyed this. Bastian with a lot of damage on that car.
So Jason, are we going to be getting any green hell challenges this year?
Possibly. Look at calendar and see what we can do.
But proper endurance, at least 2.5 hours to 3 hours.
Oh, maybe. Let's see what the interest is like.
Tim Smith on the back of Leslie Willifant at the moment.
Yep. Those fresh soft tires and it should be a fairly light fuel load.
I'm looking forward to this battle. Although we just have around 7 laps remaining, so Gerrit doesn't have a lot of time here.
To catch is one thing, to
Yeah.
pass is going to be another story. But
That's
I'm sure
it.
Bastian's going to make that R8 very wide.
Bastian did make a mistake on the last lap. He did a 208.3. They lost 2 seconds.
The other battle developing between Nick Hodgson and Chase Quinter for 5th position. You pick your point, that is that is Gabriel Rousseau and Chase Quinter.
And Tim Smith has passed Leslie Oliphant.
Yeah. Tim Smith in 9th place.
Yes.
Gerrit Crawford is going to
Yeah.
within
nice
1.5
to see that battle
seconds of
coming up
Bastian now. The thing's heating up here at the end.
You just read my mind, cameraman.
Yeah, we're in sync.
Gerrit making up some time on braking. Very aggressive in his brakes. Gerrit should look at making his move in the next lap.
And this is Gabriel Rousseau chasing Chase Gunter.
Gerrit's 2/10 away from Bastian at the moment.
Looks like Bastian is fighting his car a lot more than Gerrit. I think Gerrit did make his stop a bit later, so his tires might be a bit fresher.
Drive here for Gerrit. I think he's going to have the Audi before turn 1.
Got a nice tow here. Stays in behind him till the last second, pulls out. Got a lot more speed. Good
Job
clean
done.
move.
Yeah, solid
Is
move.
Bastian gonna fight back? He just doesn't have that straight line speed.
Already opening up the gap.
Job done.
Gabriel now within 0.2 of a second. Also looking for a move down the home stretch. On the inside. He's through as well. Up to 6th place. Gabriel Rousseau, he started in 10th. So he's made 4 places. Chase Gunther started in 12th. He's up to 7th. One hour 15 minutes into the race. Tim Smith also personal best lap 205.5. He's doing really well. That's some quick times. He's about 12 seconds behind Gerrit James. Just don't think he'll have. Okay, no, he probably won't catch up to Gerrit now.
Unless Gerrit makes a mistake.
Yeah. Brent Lindsay Ray about to be lapped by Bash. Oh, and he did.
Yeah.
The gap between Bash and Marcus is just hovering around that mark, so they seem to be on par with each other.
No need for Bash to push now. Being 30 seconds ahead. 34 actually.
This is the
Ooh,
thing, when you
I'm glad
start
you
sort of
say that.
tapping off or driving a bit slow, it can actually force you into a mistake because you're in
Yeah.
such a rhythm. But if you upset that rhythm, suddenly you could make a big mistake and off you go. So it's difficult.
Bash starting to see some tire wear there.
Yeah, he's got a lot of counter steering going on.
Yeah.
And Tim Smith, he's made a mistake somewhere on track.
Oh,
Losing a
Leslie
lot
has
of
passed
time
it
now.
again. Yeah, you
Already
can
11
see
seconds
looking
down
very
on this
second
lap.
hand.
He's still a good 9 seconds ahead of Brent.
Gabriel's giving it all, seeing if he can hunt down Nick quickly. Not enough time, unless Nick's looking at the timing and makes a mistake, and you see the delta or the gaps closing down.
And we're looking at our championship leader as things stand now. But he will be only 1 point ahead of Gert James. No, sorry, 2 points.
2 points, 2 positions.
He will be on 69 and Gert James on 67. Chase Gunther, as it stands, will be on 64 in third place.
Nice battle for the championship.
Yeah, I think the season also go down to the wire. In the last round, in the last championship, there were still 5 guys in it. The last race with Magello. Yeah, had James coming out to win the championship. Just a handful of points. Nothing in it.
With Gabriel Rousseau finishing in, if he finishes in 6th, he'll get even more ballast. He's standing on 80 kilograms now.
No, it's
Okay,
capped.
you said the cap is at
Yeah,
80.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
capped at 80.
bring
Okay,
in a cap at 80.
that can't get any worse.
No, I think
Gert
it's
James
sufficient.
has made a mistake.
Oh, let's have a look. Yeah, it's spinning the wall, I think.
Leslie is now
Lost
5
13
seconds.
seconds. Gert, he was running in 8th. So he's still in 8th, didn't lose a place. And that last lap of him at 2 minutes 20 seconds. Four laps to go. Seems like Bash has got this one. Bash has led 37 laps so far. And Garrett Crawford, the only other driver to lead some laps, 2 laps led by him.
A very dominant run here from Bashir Jadwat. First week's racing as well. They're back with a bang. I think they'll be stoked about their car choice. Of course, losing all the championship points after changing from Mercedes-Benz. This seems to be a positive change. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see them in the same cars next season again. Really
It'd be
working
nice.
for them.
It'd be nice to see these cars with more ballast at Watkins Glen as well, because that's a more technical track as well.
Yes.
Bastian Spitzner has also lost a lot of time on this lap. Lost 8 seconds so far.
Leslie Oliphant just 4 seconds behind Gert James. That's the battle for 8th.
The cars have covered the distance now of 250 kilometers. 3 laps to go. Boyd Bryson, I think he's made a mistake as well. Down in 13th place, losing a lot of time.
Kudos to Mark for actually continuing and actually finishing the race.
Leslie Oliphant is in sight of Gert James.
2 laps left.
But Gert's last lap was a 208.8 and Leslie's last lap was a 208.2. Not really enough time to catch up.
I think with that added ballast for Gert and the soft tires, they started to fade.
He should be safe though. 4-second gap. Looking at Gert James and the amount of gear changes he makes 30 gear changes per lap. Well, all the other drivers make about 40 gear changes per lap.
He's extending the gears.
Yeah.
Or just short shifting. Oh, well, not
How many
short shifting.
how many changes does Gert make, Werner?
Gert is made, let's see, he's made 1,204 gear shifts, 30 per lap.
30.
And Bashir makes 40 per lap. Quite a big difference.
Interesting. Could be that the gear ratios are different between the cars, perhaps. Maybe Gert is using the sort of the low down torque more of the Nissan, and that's sort of revving the guts out of it. As
Yeah.
Bashir is doing so.
Yeah, the Nissan gear ratios are the ones that I use, and I'm sure it's similar to what Gert used. It's a low ratio. Is it the right term?
Matthew Boy
just
seems
for
to be closing
acceleration.
up on Brent Lindsay race. Sorry, Amrish.
Yeah. It's a battle for the last lap.
This
gonna
is
make a
battle for
move.
11th.
Yeah. On the inside line.
Yeah, it's got him. Great
Can
move
Brent
there.
make it come back? No. Makes it stick. Well done by Matt. Blue flags out for Leslie Oliphant. He's been lapped now by Bashir. So drivers that have been lapped: Leslie, Tim, Matthew, Brent, Boyd, and Mark. Gert James and the top 8 drivers are the only ones that haven't been lapped.
Awesome performance by Bash though. This is what we used to see last season. Oh, the previous season when he was racing full time.
Looking at the timing screens, it's just unbelievable to see his lap times. It's constantly below 206. There are only 5 drivers that have done sub 206 times, and Bashir manages to do his 206 constantly. Every single lap I check.
It's all about getting your brake markers right, getting your apexes right, build that muscle memory and just keep it there.
And no mistakes.
No mistakes. He's on the back of Gert James.
He's
on
getting
the final
a
lap.
white flag. He's coming around for the final lap. No real battles going on at the moment. I think the guys will settle down for their positions. No need to push.
I find it to be the opposite. You know, it's those last few laps is when you just give it all. It's like all or nothing.
On the last lap as well.
Yeah. You have to
Oh.
try.
Well, for me it depends on the gaps. If I see I'm 15 seconds behind
I'm
somebody.
like, if you look at Nick is 2 seconds away from Bastian. I mean,
Yeah, you
just,
can still do it. There's some sort of mistake from Bastian.
you know, if you slack off and Bastian just runs wide and loses a second or second and a half, you know, then Nick is within earshot of getting that position.
But Bashir's on the absolute limit. His counter steering through the corners absolutely got the Lamborghini absolutely sideways. Unbelievable. Very confident Bashir Jadwat. Enjoying the last lap of the race.
He needs to put a lap on Cat before the
Closing
end.
in quite fast.
Maybe wants to make a statement.
Blue flags out for Gert. Matthew Boy, he's went off the track.
Cat not gonna
And he's
let him
lost the
lie.
place to Brent Lindsay Ray. As you speak about it, Amrish. Matthew Boy made a big mistake on this lap.
Ooh.
And here we see our race winner coming through to complete his final lap. I think he's
Use
going to
that
try to
toe.
make a statement here. Going to try to lap him.
Yes.
But
No, he
no,
doesn't
he's
have the
not
straight
going to
line
get it.
speed
And
on
he
the
wins
GTR.
it. Great race by Bash.
Great race. You see that the gap between Nick and Bastian already it just went down to just below 1 second. It's now from 2.5 seconds. It's already he pulled a second off him in that last lap now. Very entertaining first half of the race. I think I lost and expelled all my energy within the first 5 laps.
Marcus Stein will get,
this was a great race.
That was a great race, yeah. Marcus Stein gets second, and Kerry Crawford wasn't far behind him in third. Very
And
close race there.
Nick got a fourth place
Oh, yes,
from
he's
Bastian.
fighting Bastian. Look here.
Yeah.
It's not over.
On the last lap.
See,
You
that's
proved
why I
me
told
wrong,
you, don't
Amrish.
give up. You
Yeah.
Never give up. Yeah.
I wonder did Bastian, he's lost 6 seconds on this lap, so he must have made some sort of mistake, probably some pressure from Nick. And Nick is going to come home in 4th, Bastian in 5th.
Well, still a drive from Nick.
Nick Hodgson also win the AM class, of course. First of the AM class drivers across the line.
Bastian goes farming just because.
1 hour 30 minutes. Great race from these
So
guys.
Sprinter
Average
will get
speed
7.
180 kilometers an hour.
Bastian must be a bit disappointed to lose that position on the last lap in the last few corners. I was lucky enough for Nick there. Well, it was actually my curse. I used Bastian and Nick as an example of Bastian could do something wrong. Anyway, that's the end of the round 3 GT3 Cup at Road America.
Very exciting race. I'll definitely watch this replay again.
Just mind my voice.
But there we
Bashir
have
takes
it.
a very convincing win. 42-second gap to Marcus. With Carrot close behind. Just 2 seconds away from Marcus at the end. If my timing is correct.
Yeah.
And well
Nick
done
making
to Nick in 4th place.
Gabriel Rousseau championship leader in 6th.
Yeah, Chase Gunther got 7th, have James 8th place, Leslie in 9th, and Tim Smith rounds out the top 10. Great finish for him considering it's his debut GT3 race.
Yeah, I was quite impressed by Tim Smith. I think he handled himself quite well. Also, sort of mixing it with the guys at the start, keeping it clean. And yeah, it was an action-packed race. I thought a couple of too many incidences for me, but
Good
look
luck,
at that.
Mr. Race Director. on
Yeah, I
that.
think I might be getting some race investigation requests just now, but that's okay. I'll handle that. That's all part of the job.
You're gonna have your hands full.
That's it, yeah. But congratulations to Bashir Jadwat for winning this race for Ghostworks Racing. His teammate, of course, a 1-2 for Ghostworks Racing. Marcus staying second. And a great late charge there by Kerry Crawford to get the final podium step. So a great race by the three guys. And of course, Nick Hodgson in 4th position. Yeah, was also winning the M class. A good drive there. Nick, I think his best drive he's had with us so far. So great to see. But yeah, I think that's rounds up this round 3 at Road America. Of course, round 4 at Watkins Glen. Yep, and the championship will carry on until then. Well, thank you very much, Amrish and Werner, for joining me.
Thanks,
Not
Jason.
a problem. It was
Yeah.
good to watch.
Yeah, it was great to watch. And I think we'll wrap it up there. But until Watkins Glen, thanks everyone. Goodbye.
Cheers.
Cheers.